As we told you earlier this morning in the last half hour as well, former San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer has announced the launch of an exploratory committee, his first official step in a potential run for governor. And joining us to talk about that and what's motivating him to look into possibly launching a campaign is former Mayor Faulconer. Thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be back with you. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. So it's no secret you have been a critic of Governor Newsom's COVID-19 response. Can you talk about what you think he has been doing wrong and how would you have handled things differently?
Well, I think it's important that we all work together and particularly, have the trust and ability of our leaders. And one of the things that, unfortunately, and I have been very outspoken, that's been lacking is really the reliance on science. And everybody wants to do the right thing, and we've continued to encourage that. But yet when we see things like, outdoor dining is not allowed, no science to that. When we see the delay in safely reopening our schools, you see that frustration that has built not just here in San Diego, but all across California. And Californians are hurting, and particularly during this pandemic, where we have approximately 500,000 Californians that cannot receive their unemployment checks. That's why I think you're seeing this growing, not only anger, frustration, but resolve that says we need a change at the top.
Now, the stage we are now, as you know, with case numbers surging and the number of deaths also going up here in San Diego County as well as the state, would you at this point reopen businesses or allow for outdoor dining as well as reopen schools?
Well, I'll tell you, we absolutely should be having outdoor dining. It's been safe, and it's been proven safe. And we've seen from our national health officials that we want our schools to be reopened. And so that, I think, has been why, you continue to see that frustration from folks that really don't understand that there's no basis on science on this.
Now, let's talk about a potential run for governor. What would your priorities be if you were to run and be elected?
Several. First and foremost, it's getting California back on track. It's understanding how important our economy is, and yet we've seen all of these job losses and companies leaving California. It's getting a real handle on the homeless crisis. It's skyrocketing, of course, across all of California, yet we have some experience in San Diego of doing the right thing, the only county where homelessness has actually gone down over the last 2 years. Protecting all of our neighborhoods. While there were those across California that wanted to defund the police department, we didn't do that in San Diego for all of the right reasons. So that's the type of common sense approach that I'm going to take, that I would take. That's the approach we took in San Diego. And it's not about partisanship. It's not about Republican, Democrat, or Independent. It's about bringing people together to do the right thing.
And let's talk about the Exploratory Committee. So typically, that would be feeling out kind of the support that you would have, campaign finance. Are those some of the things that you'll be looking at and the committee will be looking at? And also, what kind of timetable should we expect in terms of a firm decision from you?
It is, and those are all the things. And an Exploratory Committee, as I said, gives us the opportunity to harness that energy, to organize, to raise dollars. And again, we're seeing that all across the political spectrum for Californians that want to change. And so, obviously, I'm very excited to take this next step. There'll be a lot of work still to go in the coming weeks, but it is something that I've given a lot of thought to with a lot of encouragement, not just from San Diegans, but from Californians up and down the state.
Now, as you know, this is a pretty blue state. We have elected a lot of Democrats to office. How would you be able to reach across the aisle to get that support you would need from independents and possibly Democrats?
It's the same approach that I took as mayor. As I said, it's when we look at the demographics of San Diego and the partisan registration, you win by bringing all folks together. We've done that in San Diego successfully with Republicans, Democrats, and independents. And so, as I said before, it's not about partisanship, it's about leadership. And when you actually have a leader that's willing to stand up, make the tough decisions, actually make a difference, I think that's why voters support you. When I look at all of the things that we were able to do during my tenure as mayor in terms of paving streets, really focusing on neighborhood services, so again, supporting, policing, reducing homelessness, all of those issues are ones that required everybody to row in the same direction. It's about ensuring that you're going to do the things that Californians and San Diegans expect you to do, And I think that's not only the right approach to win an election, it's the right approach to govern as well.
Well, we will be waiting to hear what you decide. Kevin Faulconer, thank you so much for talking to us.
Jenny, my pleasure. Thank you very much.